Is he coming at you or you coming at him?
No, well, I'm just saying he's coming in to do some sparring with me, I think, but he's up at middleweight, and I'll fucking fight my brother if I'm getting paid and it's progressing me forward. I don't care. So if Dylan Biggs needs to fight or wants to fight, he's up at middleweight, I'm there. You know, if it makes dollars, makes sense to me.
All right, welcome back to the No Limit Boxing Podcast. We have some special guests to join us today. Firstly, we've got some massive news. March Mayhem, we have announced, if you're going to start your fights in 2024, what better way to do it than 5 fights in 4 weeks? We've gone nuts. It's off the back of the great year that we had last year, but really excited to be able to announce our first pay-per-view in Wollongong, headlined by Sam Goodman and, of course, Issac Hardman in a very, very tough fight there. And we've also got Tim's fight, March 30th. You saw that one announced. Liam Wilson, Oscar Valdez, the night before in Arizona. And we've got 2 No Limit on Fox shows either side of the pay-per-view in Wollongong. So big month of fights ahead. And we couldn't be more excited about getting into it. I am going to get into it today with the head splitter, Issac Hardman, one of the men on the double-header pay-per-view in Wollongong, March 13th. Issac Hardman. Mate, how exciting to have you on here.
Mate, how good down in Wollongong. I haven't been here yet, but it's a land of the mad bunch, so it's noisy out there with them. And, a little bit of pressure off me now with Mark there. He's chatting a bit of shit as well. So I'm excited to just maybe sit back, take it backwards, backseat to this one because my opponent obviously doesn't speak English. So, yeah, it's going to be good. I'm excited to be here, cranking one out early in the year, March, get off on the right foot and then sail into the rest of the year with you guys, No Limit.
How hard does that make it for you when your opponent doesn't speak English? You're very good on the chat.
Yeah. My Spanish is all right. Blair's been to Mexico like 7 times. So I've learned a bit off him. I've been to Mexico myself, but for another reason. It makes it a little bit more harder, but, I'm a personality and that shines through regardless they speak English or not. So, and I always, I say I'm bilingual, but I think I'm going to become trilingual after this one.
Have you got any Spanish for us now, or are you going to save it?
I'll save it. Save it for a bigger stage, not the casting couch here with you, Big Georgie.
So, big fight for you. Obviously, you had a good year back in action last year.
Yep.
What do you know about this fight? What can we look forward to with the head splitter?
Yeah, I don't feel like he's fought the caliber I have, but he's fighting the guys in his region and he's the best there. So I went and found his Instagram. He's sparring with Jaime Munguia, you know. Right. So who's, you just seen him stop John Ryder on the weekend and something Canelo couldn't do. So, and I know from experience, I ain't asking lower level sparring partners to come in and work with me. If you're Jaime Munguia, you're getting the better of the stuff. So you want to be prepared for your fight. So if he's getting asked to come do rounds with Jaime Munguia, he's obviously, got something in the bag for him. So I'm excited. He's obviously a big punch. He's got a good knockout ratio, 15 wins, 12 knockouts or something. I've got a big knockout ratio with 15 wins and 13 knockouts. And he's South American. South Americans don't come, they're too proud. It's compared the Japanese to the Mexican, they're too proud to take a dive. Maybe you get those Indonesians and stuff like that, they'll come over for a paycheck. But these blokes, they're too proud to take a dive. So they're coming to win. And he's from a third world country, so he's coming here, he's got kids by the looks. He's coming here to try and make a name for himself off my name. So he's coming here to win, which excites me and makes me a little bit nervous as well. And that's what you want in this sport. You can't be too lackadaisy, otherwise you're going to get chinned.
There's a lot of talk about his knockout power. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, he can fucking punch. His record tells the story. He can punch. And Mexicans and South Americans, they have I reckon they got thicker skulls. They're like the indigenous people, they got thicker skulls and they don't go down or go away as easy. And the South American Mexican style is, on top of you. Tim Tszyu talked about it with Thurman. He's got a Mexican style and it's a pressure style and he fights in the pocket and he puts his punches together really well. So it's going to be exciting. And I can do that too. So it'd be interesting. He doesn't really fight on the outside. He hasn't. So, and I feel like off the back of my last 2 performances, I say I was the most improved in the roster. From the fight in March with Rowan to the next 2, you've seen a drastic change, and not change, but added 2 notches to my belt. I feel like I've really improved, and this this fight probably present an opportunity where I can show that even more so, be a bit more of a boxer on the outside instead of resorting to having to thump him down. But if it comes to that, it comes to that. I'm about that. So
Well, we do love your knockout power. We love what you bring to the ring too. So is that what we're also going to get the chance to see?
For sure, 100%. I don't have a backwards fucking reverse gear, and you know that, and everyone else knows that. So it's going to be a cracker, I think, and it's going to warm up the mad bunch for Sam Goodman to go out and shine under the bright light. So I'm excited for this fight and another international. This is my third international in a row, which excites me as well. And I think I've graduated from the domestic scene, and you guys are invested in me and bringing over these internationals, which I really appreciate. I'm thankful for just to put my name out there a little bit more. So I'm excited for this.
Well, I think it shows the level that you're at too, though.
Absolutely.
Like you've had so many great fights over your career. There's not many left in Australia that.
No, there's not. There's one man, and he's doing his thing at the minute. So, but that'll be the only other Australian I want to fight. And hopefully one day I'll get that chance and it presents itself. But he's doing his thing. I'm doing mine at the minute, and we'll get there one day for sure.
Well, let's dive in a little bit just into the Issac Hardman story.
Yeah.
Where you're from, how you got to where you're at now.
Yeah, I'm a Caboolture kid through and through. Got born in Redcliffe, so then lived in D-Bay, then graduated to Caboolture. So I've had the best of the best. I lost dad when I was 13 years old, so I didn't have a father figure in my life. Mum's a fucking weapon, I've only sort of put the pieces together now. The laptop used to get hocked at Cash's before we got our groceries, and that was just something Mum had to do to get us through, and I'm very proud of the mother she is. Who I am a lot because of her. And obviously my dad's not around, but I fell into a good place with Blair, 8 years later. And it's been smooth sailing ever since. Not smooth sailing, there's ups and downs with me and Blair as well, but I had an MMA career. I wanted to be a footy player. I wanted to play for the Canterbury Bulldogs, running there, scoring the grand final try and then kicking my own goal like Hazem El Masri. That was the goal. I used to play snap half. There's a story. I used to play snap half, and no one knows what that position is. You wouldn't even know. You played first grade. And my coach said, mate, I'm playing you at snap half. I said, fuck, coach, what's that position? And he said, mate, just snap anyone that comes near you. I said, all right, I'm snapping anyone in half that comes near me. So that was my position. But I wanted to be a footy player. And then I fell into MMA. Love that. And then, 9 fights later, I was undefeated, 3 Australian titles, and I had a ticket to the UFC. I'd blown my knee out, and I needed to get a sort of blow the cobwebs fight out, and that was on your show against Pola Petty, Huni, who was it, Gallen and Hopewadi.
Yes.
And I just wanted, because I didn't care about boxing at the time then. I wanted to do the UFC, and I was 3-0 against light heavyweights. Yeah. And a contract got presented to be on TV for way better money than MMA was paying in Australia. I was getting $400 a fight. My best payday in MMA was $1,500, and that was my 3rd Australian title. So craziness. I got a good contract on Foxtel, and I've never looked back. I put all the eggs in the boxing basket, threw the MMA to the side, and maybe we'll revisit that in a No Limit UFC co-main headline or whatever in Vegas. One day down the track when I'm a world champion, because no one's ever done it the other way. A successful boxer go over and be a successful MMA fighter, which I've got the background to do that. So when I'm done boxing and I'm finished up there, maybe we'll cash out. When the UFC comes to Australia and a No Limit world champion will be on the card. Maybe we'll do something like that. But that's basically the story from start to finish until right now sitting here with you.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that fight with us, because that was the first I'd ever seen or heard of you. I mean, everybody talked about you having a good record coming over from MMA, but
I
absolutely blew everyone away that night. Because he had huge support too.
Yeah, the memory only popped up on Facebook, like 5 years ago today. It was the Matt Rowe, your brother was talking about the fight card, and I had signed up to the fight. I'm like, yep, I'm doing it. I got told not to do it from a few people because his big amateur background. I thought, fuck, I'll just give me a fight. I want to do it. And I didn't care about boxing. And then we were watching the preview. Matty was saying, and we had Pola Petty, with 70 amateur fights and youth champion. I thought, fucking what? I've been stitched here. Like, I didn't get told about that when I was signing the paperwork. Fuck me. And then, anyway, I got the job done and I steamrolled him in the first round. So lucky. I feel like my first 3 boxing fights, I had no right to be in the ring with the people I was in the ring with. And my just pure lack or ignorance to the boxing world because I was coming from an MMA background. I just didn't care about it, and I just went out and fought, and I thankfully won by 3 first-round knockouts in my first 3 fights at light heavyweight. So, yeah, but that was sort of the platform that projected me into the boxing world was No Limit back in the day. It was awesome.
I think that that not give a fuck type attitude that you had from the start is something that people are so drawn to. Not only, the chat and the knockout power, but
for sure.
The no fear attitude. You've still got that now.
Yeah, for sure. And me and Blair were only talking about this the other day. We got a young guy in the gym, Dimitri. I think he'll be a really good pro as well at super middleweight. He's a handful. He's young too, only 20 years old, and there's been a few fights offered, and we're sort of separate. Like, he doesn't have to have that fight just yet. And whereas me and Blair were saying, when I was coming through, I just fought with whoever.
Yeah.
In my 7th fight, I was fighting for an Australian title. People that had been fighting since I was 13, and I'd been in boxing for 2 years. So, we didn't do the typical match the fights correctly and pick the easier fights to climb the ranks and get your ring experience and time under your belt. I just fucking went and done it, which looking back, I wouldn't change it because it's given me the experiences and I feel like that's why I'm here so quickly, I sort of shot through the scene pretty quickly, and if I was fighting the Joe Blows and the people with, negative records, no one would be caring, but my sort of attitude towards it was just fight the best and find out if I can hang with them. If I can't, I'm going to pack it up and fuck it off because this sport's too hard to do it.
It's hard.
Fight and no one's and giving you a false sense of security like you're the man. So if I can't mix it with the best, I'm out because this sport's too fucking hard. I'll go be a firefighter or something, So I've done that and I'm doing that, and that's why I'm still here doing it.
So I guess that says a little bit about your goals too going forward, right?
For sure. I'm world champion, 100%. I said it sitting with you guys just before I fought Kazuki. I said I'll be a world champion in 3 years. And words are powerful, and I'm going to manifest that shit, and it's going to happen because it's my mantra now is do or die. I've had the 2 losses and 3 don't look good on your record, unless you're fighting the best. So I can't be losing to these people unless I'm in a world title fight and it's a good fight, do or die, all or nothing is the mantra for the rest of my career. My wife knows that because I love a fight camp, with Blair, and then have 2 weeks off, go on a holiday. I said to the missus, I ain't fucking booking holidays. We're not going for a holiday until I retire at 35 years old, and then we can live out the rest of our life happily sipping on wine. So until then, I ain't doing shit but fighting for No Limit, punching people's heads in.
I love that. Gee, that pumps me up, actually.
Yeah, that's what's because I used to always had a fight and then we'll book a holiday, have a fight. Fuck that. We ain't going on holidays, and if we are, we're doing a staycation in Brisbane somewhere just around the corner. No holidays until I'm done this boxing, and then I'm out.
Well, let's talk about your division, middleweight division. I feel like it's one that's pretty open. I reckon there's opportunity there.
Fuck yeah, there is. There's definitely opportunity there, and that's what's the exciting bit. And, I thought I might outgrow middleweight, but I've got a good dietitian on board with the fight dietitian, and we've dialed it all the way in, so I ain't leaving this division. Some people say I cut too much weight and I'm a big middleweight, which I'm a big middleweight, but I do it safely.
Yeah.
So I'm staying here at middleweight, and it is wide open. We've got Jenna Beck with the IBF and the WBO. Zarafa, me mate Zarafa and Lara are fighting for the WBA, and then Charlo's holding up the WBC. So, not many people want to line up fight Jenna Beck, and like we just said, I'll fucking fight anyone. So if the opportunity presents itself, I'm fighting whoever it is for about. That's the goal in boxing. If you're not shooting your shot, why do it? And why I'm here to fight for a world title, so, and I've just got to put myself in a good position to do it. But it is wide open. There's guys like fought just last weekend, Mo Williams. He's ranked 4 and 5 in all these sanctioned bodies. I reckon he's trash. I'll smash him to pieces. Tell Eddie Hearn, I'll smash him to pieces. But there's some good fights there, exciting fights, good names, and it is wide open. It's there for the taking. You got Zarafa fighting a 41-year-old Lara, so I think he gets that job done. Good on him. I don't like the bloke. We've got some beef, but you're back in Aussie when they're on the world scene, and I think he's got the youth on his side. Lara's coming to the end. He's 41 at the end of the day. I think I back myself against any 41-year-old bloke being 28 years old. Youth wins a lot of the time over a 41-year-old. So I think Zerafa gets that job done. I just don't want Tszyu to step in up in middleweight and take that fucking title from me. So, Timmy, stay at super well to do your thing. Zerafa, do your thing, and hopefully he wins. I'll get sanctioned in the WBA, and then we'll fight there.
That'll be a great fight, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And, yeah, I did myself mischief the first time round. I won't talk about it too much because everyone's fucking heard the story. But, yeah, I'm better than that, and I know I am, and that's what keeps me going. Because if I got beaten in a 12-round fight and I just got edged, it'd be like, fuck, he's just better than me flat out. I got chinned in 2 rounds because I was a dummy in that fight. You know, I was a bit more immature. There was a lot of emotion in that fight. You know, accused of racist here, that, and the other. But yeah, I'm way better than that. I know that too. That's what keeps me, you know, sleeping at night. You know, I'm way better than that. And I feel like he knows he got off by the fucking skin of his teeth. So, but good on him. He's been patient and he's doing his thing and he's fighting on the big Amazon Prime card over there with Tszyu. So I hope he gets the job done. I think he will, and then we'll get somewhat sanctioned in the WBA and we'll climb to that.
Well, there's plenty of fights that we can make happen for you to get on that.
That's the plan, and I can't finish boxing without having one more crack at that.
Well, look, one of the things that we really like to do with all of our fighters is create these experiences where they're never overwhelmed when it comes to travelling overseas to these big fights.
Yeah, and I feel like that whole shit show, it was just fucked, you know, whereas if you put that on a good platform with, you know, good security and all that other stuff, that doesn't happen like that. It was a wild old place that night in Melbourne against Rafa. So put it on a good show, everything, no one coming in dressing rooms, this, that, and the other. It goes different. It goes a different way.
What do you do different if you get that opportunity again?
I just box. I try and brain him. Like, the last thing I said to Blair was, I'm going to just walk up to him and fucking punch his head in, like, as hard as I can. And you seen it. I looked slow and terrible. When you try and punch hard, it looks crap. I missed everything, didn't throw a fucking jab, didn't move my head or nothing. And then the next fight, you see me knock out Bo Harder, so you didn't even see that punch sort of land because it comes so relaxed. And I was just in a better place there. So, yeah, I just be a better me, and I beat him for sure. So, and now you see my last 2 fights, I've improved so much.
Yeah.
Another 2 more fights, I'll improve so much more as well. So it's an exciting time for me.
Now, Charlo's held up that other belt for quite some time. What are your thoughts on him?
Weak as piss, like his brother, and holding up the other one for Tim. Just, if you're not fighting, fuck off. Like, but I guess he's got a big name and he gets looked after over there, and I don't know, you must be paying the WBC sanction fees pretty fucking well. I don't know. I wouldn't be. But, yeah, if you're not fighting, fuck off. Do something else. Like,
he just made a comeback to the ring just recently. What do you think? How did he look to you?
Oh, yeah, who did he fight? Who did he fight, actually? He fought
the little Benavides.
That's right, who's a welterweight.
Yes.
And he fought Crawford at welterweight, wasn't it? Years
Yeah.
ago, yeah. So, and he went the distance. So I didn't rate it. But obviously he's really good. African American, got good genetics and he's explosive. But yeah, I didn't really rate it. So I think that'd be a cool fight too, for sure. And it sounds stupid for me to say that sometimes out loud, and people will sit there and think, fuck, you're not on that level, but I fully believe I am. So I've been in the ring with Caleb Plants and Shane Mosley's and Russians over there in Vegas, and I can mix it with them. So that's not too far-fetched for me, and I fully believe that now.
So if you could create a hit list for 2024, who's on it?
Ooh, this bloke, there's a guy named Paul Kroll, who's an American guy. He was calling out M.O. Williams as well. He looks the part as well, and that was a name that come across for this one, but it didn't line up. I think that's a good fight. M.O. Williams, 4th fight at the end of the year, middleweight, I reckon. Who else is there? Maybe like an Andre would be good out of Radanov. Andre and Radanov, they're fighting. I would like to fight Andre because that sells as well. But he's not a big name to fight. I just wanted to cave his head in. But, yeah, probably those 2. Paul Grohl would be a good step because he's got a good American style into the other bloke I said. Who did I say?
Who didn't you say? I feel like you've named most of the division.
All of them. Anyone can get it. You know how I roll, Georgie.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And that's what we all love
that
about
other
you.
pipsqueak, M.O. Williams is who I said, that guy, I'll smash him with his stupid dog.
All right, so your fight's coming up March 13th here in Wollongong. What have you got for us? So can we expect? What do we got to tune in for? Is it the fight? Is it the build up?
No,
what's
I think
Issac
the build-up's
Hardman
covered
bringing?
now with Mark here. You know, I could have ride with him with your brother Trent and Amy, and he was just fucking going off. So I think he's got the press conference covered and the hype there. But I think you can expect two come forward styles meeting in the middle, and someone's going fucking night. So for sure it'll be adios amigo to fucking whatever his name is. Tune in.
All right. Speaking of the Australian boxing scenes,
Yep.
plenty of good fighters on the scene at the moment.
Yeah, it's crap.
Who do you like on the Australian boxing scene?
Oh man, there's heaps. Rocky Odgin's a bit of a weapon. Liam Wilson. There's so many. Like even the people that don't get spoken about, you know, on the sort of the regional, the local scenes. You know, there's some really good guys. But you've put me on the spot now.
Well, you've thrown the Queenslanders straight off the bat. You're representing Queensland hard.
Queensland, Queensland all the way. Who else we got? Kyle Mazzuti is a good fight. Like I like Dan Hill. One of my training partners, Danny Hill. Get him on the no limit card. He's
That'd
a weapon.
be a great fight, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Dan
Dan
Hill,
and
Kyle
Cohen.
Mazzuti.
I had Cohen stay at my house one time he coming down and train, but I backed Dan Hill in that fight all day. So Dan Hill's one of my favourites to watch because he's such a warrior. You got Dylan Biggs too. He took a loss from Nikita, but he's moving up to middleweight. You know and he beat Dan Hill, so that could be a fight. You know we've got a bit of a story.
Is he coming at you or you coming at him?
No. Well, I'm just saying he's coming in to do some sparring with me, I think. But he's up at middleweight, and I'll fucking fight my brother if I'm getting paid and it's progressing me forward. I don't care. So if Dylan Biggs needs to fight or wants to fight, he's up at middleweight. I'm there. You know, if it makes dollars, makes sense to me. But there's heaps of guys here in Australia. Liam Wilson, obviously, as well. There's a new guy they just signed, Glenn Jennings, this Billy Polkenhine. He seems like a bit of a weapon.
Yeah.
Connor Wallace, he's the best light heavyweight in Australia at the minute. Who else we got? Jake Wiley as well there in Brisbane.
You're still naming Queenslanders.
Mariah Turner too.
Queensland is the centre of the universe, I think.
Queensland's where it's at, mate.
It is beautiful up there.
Sam Goodman, come on, Sam. We've got Sam Goodman world ranked as well. He's in a hard division with Inouye at the top of that one. I named Cohen too. He's
Of course.
Melbourne. Who's the Melbourne guys?
No, it's all good. I know. I get the picture. Your Queensland is the centre of the universe.
100%.
Anyone out of Queensland, they're coming.
Yeah,
they're coming. Yeah, I love it. Look, we've got a few big fights coming up for March Mayhem.
Yeah,
Liam Wilson,
crackers.
Oscar Valdez. What are your thoughts?
That's a mad fight. You know, again, Liam has a style where it's walk forward. He don't take a backward step either against a Mexican. You know, that's just got fireworks written all over it. And, you know, Valdez got the knockout of the year, I think 2021. 2021, 2022, whatever it was. Liam's had a few peach knockouts. He just got fight of the year on ESPN, top rank last year. Fuck me. I'm backing Liam. He's a fellow Caboolture boy. He's getting the job done, and that just catapults Australian boxing even more again. So he's over there in Vegas now, I think, prepping for his last leg of the camp. So I think he gets that. I think he's just so big and physical up at that weight. You know, he's so tall for that weight division. Valdez is a little bit shorter, but again, Valdez is a Mexican. He's been in there with the top guys, and they both fought Navarrete. So I know Liam put him down. He should have won that fight. Valdez didn't, and he went to a decision. So it's going to be a cracker. Humdinger.
All right, and then the following night we've got Tszyu, Keith Thurman. Thoughts on that fight?
Kim's going to Kim. Fucking don't beat me up, Kim. Tim's going to punch his head in. I just seen something on the way here. Sean Porter saying, all you uneducated people, don't get the hype twisted. Thurman's going to beat Tim. So shut up, Sean. I like you, and you're meant to get me on your podcast, but you didn't. Tim Tszyu's going to bash him. I think he's just going to be too big. That pressure's so relentless. And again, like, Thurman's a smaller man. Oh, he didn't look small at the face-off, so he holds his size pretty well. But I think the inactivity and Tim's massive year last year is just going to get the job done. I think he'll stop Thurman late like he has everyone else. So Tim's a fucking weapon, and that's like people are now starting to realise it. But I figured that out 3 years ago when I first sparred with him. I thought, it's his name. Fuck no, it's not his name. He's who he is because he's a weapon, you know. and we've shared the ring for over 100 rounds, and it's a fucking handful. It's a hard night for everyone, and Thurman's a great name to have. I think he just dusts him up for sure.
Great fight. I agree 100%.
Yep.
We've also got our 2 No Limit on Fox shows, March 6 and March 20. March 6, we've got Bilal Akaway versus Reynold Quinlan headlining.
Cool.
What are your thoughts on that one?
I didn't realize that was a bit of a sneaker, that one. That popped up on the post. I thought, oh fuck, here we go. I met Bilal Akaway when Matchroom come to Australia in Brisbane. He seems like a great fella. Big puncher too. He's been in there with Canelo Alvarez, like sparring. He was in his camp. So, and Reynolds, you just got to, which Reynolds going to turn up? The one that turns up to fight Jack Bowen beats a lot of people. And the one that turned up to fight Alcuso was just sort of there to just whatever. But Ren fucking can turn it on, and Bilal Akaway, he hasn't fought in a long time. So that's another cracker too. And I think, what are they going to be fighting around 85 kilos or something?
Yeah, 86,
so
I'm pretty sure.
They don't have to worry about, they don't have to worry about cutting too much weight, so they won't be trained. That's just some 2 big hombres going at it. So I haven't watched much of Bilal. I've seen a little bit of Reynolds through No Limit and stuff like that, so I can't say too much, but I think it's just going to be a cracker, depending on which ones turn up. And I think they're both in a split. Like Bilal now, if he's making another run, he's got to put on a good performance. And, then you got Jade Mitchell on the corner.
Yeah.
He'll be fucking licking his lips at the prospect of maybe getting in there, the ring with one of those 2 guys if he's not a fat concreter still. I don't know. Here, that's what he'll say, he's a fat concreter. But
he does
that's exciting as well. So that's a cracker. That's a good way to start, for
And
sure.
then, of course, our other No Limit on Fox show, March 20th. The week after you, we've got Nathaniel May versus Tyson Lentry.
Fuck, cool as. Nathaniel May, I watched him fight Jackson England. And he's a stablemate of Jack Bowen. I've had him in the gym too. He's from where my coaches was from, Bunbury. He's a Bunbury boy. Yeah. So he can fight like fuck, old cheeky mate. It's that Indigenous. They just know how to do it. They know how to fight. So that's a cracker. And Lantry, I remember him fighting just fought
Luke Jackson.
He won the first one, got done in the second one. So he's obviously coming off a loss, but they're both coming off a loss, so they both got to make statements. So I'm backing Cheeky May in that one. I like Cheeky. He's a good fella.
Yeah, great fight. I agree with you.
Yeah, great fight too.
March Mayhem. How
Fucking
good.
hell,
What a
March
start to the
Mayhem.
year.
Yeah, I might just change my birth certificate to fucking born in May instead of March instead of May.
Well, I'm born in March. It's my birthday on your fight
there
night.
you go.
So
Happy fucking birthday. I'm going to give you a knockout special.
Beautiful. That's all I wanted.
That's it. That's
all I want. I look forward to that.
And I'll take me shorts off and you can have them.
All right, let's move along. Look, wrap it up here. We want to know who your favourite fighters are of all time.
Oh, of all time.
Give us your top 5. If you got to think of your top 5, who sits sort of up the top of your favourite fighters to watch?
I don't even know his name, but back in the day, he's called The Hawk.
The Hawk?
He's a dark fella. What's his fucking name? My mate Dimitri will know. He just punched like a motherfucker. The Hawk. Yeah. YouTube, just The Hawk boxer.
Good name.
I'm going to have someone find that out, The Hawk boxer. What's his fucking... He's a black fella.
We're on in 10 minutes.
I got him. In a way, he's one of my favourite at the moment to watch. He's just unbelievable. That's Julian Jackson. Yeah, Julian Jackson. Fucking have a look at his highlight reel. Holy shit. In a way, Julian Jackson, David Benavidez.
The monster.
Yeah, he's unreal. I like that. Arthur Beterbiev too. Fucking hell. And Triple G's my favourite too.
All big punches.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. I like a Triple G style, walking forward, punching heads in. So I'm the Australian Triple G.
Well, we do love watching you walking forward and punching people's heads in, and we look forward to seeing more of that on March 13th. Yeah. Thanks for joining us on the No Limit Boxing Podcast.
Pleasure.
We've got plenty more of Issac Hardman to see over the next few years.
Beautiful.
Just re-sign with No Limit.
Another 2 years with the best in the game. So fuck everyone else off. Two more years on No Limit, pay-per-view, Fox Sports. Let's just get a pay-per-view for the head splitter one day. So we've got 2 years to do it. It's going to happen.
Can't wait. I look forward to it. Thanks for joining us and thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.